Something feels different in the air around Seattle right now. We all feel that void in the backfield after losing Kenneth Walker. It's a tension that won't go away. Before we dive into this massive possibility, I need to ask for your help. This channel is my life, built for the 12s, by a 12. We are so close to our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and I'm honestly asking for your support to keep this dream alive. Please subscribe and join the family. Now, let's talk about a move that could change our entire Seahawks season right now. The landscape of our offense shifted the moment Kenneth Walker headed to Kansas City. That departure left a hole in our hearts and a massive production gap on the field. Now, with Zach Charbonnet fighting his way back from a torn ACL, the reality is setting in. We are heading into a season where our ground game feels incredibly fragile. That's why the whispers about Alvin Kamara are starting to get louder and more intense. Imagine the veteran presence in our locker room. Imagine the spark he could provide to Sam Darnold. But this isn't just about adding a name. It's about a franchise at a crossroads. New Orleans is clearly moving in a different direction. They just gave Travis Etienne a massive deal, which basically tells the world that Kamara's time in the Bayou is coming to a close. He's one of the most versatile weapons this league has ever seen, but he's entering the twilight of his career. He'll be 31 this July. That's the age where running backs usually start to fade into the background. But is Kamara different? Could he be the piece that stabilizes everything while we wait for our young guys to develop? There's a specific kind of tension when you talk about trading for a legend like this. You wonder if there's still magic left in those legs or if we're just chasing ghosts of the past. Mike Macdonald's system is built on discipline and execution, and having a high IQ back like Kamara could be the ultimate safety net for Darnold. We've seen what happens when this team lacks a consistent threat out of the backfield. It puts too much pressure on the receivers and makes the offense predictable. We can't afford to be predictable right now. Not with the expectations we have. Not with the window we're trying to keep open. This news about the Saints signaling a shift in philosophy is the trigger we've been waiting for. It's no longer just a fantasy football dream. It's a strategic possibility that John Schneider has to be weighing right now. The emotional weight of replacing a guy like Walker is heavy, but the thought of Kamara wearing the action green brings a certain kind of hope that's hard to ignore. This move could define our entire 2026 campaign. We are ready for greatness. Let us see if the front office is ready to make the big splash we all need to see today. But we have to be real with ourselves for a second, because there are layers to this that are actually quite terrifying. If you look at the numbers, Kamara isn't the same guy who put up 1,700 scrimmage yards back in 2020. Last season, in 11 games, he struggled to find that elite burst. We're talking about 471 rushing yards. That's a far cry from the all-pro production we used to see on every highlight reel. And honestly, that's where the anxiety starts to creep in. Are we looking at a veteran who can lead, or are we looking at a contract that will anchor us down? Our cap situation looks great on the surface with nearly $67 million in room. But that money is already earmarked for the future of this franchise. We have to take care of Sam Darnold, we have to secure Uchenna Nwosu, and let's not forget the shadow of $80 million in dead money hanging over this roster, especially after the DK Metcalf trade to Pittsburgh. That's $21 million just sitting there for a player who isn't even in the building anymore. We have almost zero margin for error. If we bring in Kamara and his $10.5 million cap hit, and he doesn't produce, it could be a catastrophic mistake. It could prevent us from keeping the young core together. It's a high-stakes gamble that feels like it's being played in a dark room. The risk isn't just financial, it's about the soul of the team. We are in the middle of a youth movement with guys like Jadarian Price and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Does adding a 31-year-old veteran disrupt that energy, or does it provide the necessary leadership to guide them? Every time I think about the potential of Kamara catching passes out of the backfield on third down, I get excited. But then I remember the age and the declining yards per carry, and the excitement turns into a knot in my stomach. This is the kind of decision that keeps general managers awake at night. It's the kind of move that fans will either praise as a masterstroke or point to as the reason the season collapsed. We are navigating a very thin line between being aggressive contenders and being desperate. The implications for the roster are massive, and the pressure on Mike Macdonald to make the right call is reaching a boiling point. We are all waiting for the truth to finally come out about our real backfield plans for this coming year. But this is where things change, because this isn't just about a running back. This is about the entire identity of the Seattle Seahawks moving forward. We are witnessing Jackson Smith-Njigba evolve into perhaps the best wide receiver in the entire NFL. He just signed that massive extension, and he is the undisputed focal point of our future. So, the question really becomes, how do we protect that investment? If our backfield is a non-threat, defenses are going to bracket JSN every single play. They're going to dare us to run the ball with a rookie like Jadarian Price or a recovering Charbonnet. And that's the biggest question facing this front office right now. Can we truly trust the kids to carry the load while we're trying to chase another championship? Because this could become something much bigger than just a depth chart move. It's a statement of intent. If Schneider pulls the trigger on Kamara, he's telling the world that we are in win-now mode despite the roster turnover. It means we aren't willing to waste a year of JSN's prime or a year of this elite defense's peak. But the shadow of Kenneth Walker is still so long. Fans are still mourning that loss, and the pressure to find an immediate replacement is suffocating. If Kamara comes here and looks slow, the backlash will be immediate and loud. People will say we're just collecting old names instead of building a sustainable future. Yet, if he comes in and provides even 70% of his old self, he becomes the ultimate chess piece for McDonald. He becomes the guy who keeps the chains moving and keeps the defense honest. That's the emotional tug of war we're all feeling. We want the glory, we want the veteran savvy, but we're terrified of the decline. This move represents the ultimate bridge between the past and the future. It's a gamble on experience over potential. In a league that's increasingly dominated by young, cheap talent, going after a high-priced veteran like Kamara feels like a throwback move. But maybe a throwback move is exactly what this modern Seahawks team needs to get over the hump. The Super Bowl window is a fragile thing, and sometimes you have to be willing to break the rules to keep it open. This decision will ripple through the locker room and the fan base for years to come. It is the moment where we decide if we are truly ready to win a ring. I'm going to be honest with you all. This actually worries me a little bit, but at the same time, I can't help but feel a spark of excitement. I really like the idea of this move if the price is right. If we can get Alvin Kamara for a 5th or 6th round pick, you almost have to do it, right? I think fans should pay attention to how much the Saints are willing to eat of that salary. Because if New Orleans pays a chunk of that $10 million, then this becomes a no-brainer for Seattle. I look at Jadarian Price and I see so much potential, but he needs a mentor. He needs someone who has been in the fire, someone who knows how to navigate an NFL season. Kamara could be that guy. But I'll be the first to admit, the financial side of this makes me nervous. We've seen what happens when teams get stuck with aging veterans on big contracts. And with our dead money situation, we can't afford a miss. It feels like we're playing a game of chicken with the salary cap. I want to see this team succeed more than anything. And if Kamara is the missing piece for Sam Darnold to take that next step, then I'm all in. But there's a part of me that fears we might be chasing a name rather than production. It's that classic Seahawks dilemma. Do we stay young and hungry, or do we bring in the established star? I think about the energy in the stadium if Kamara breaks off a big run in the home opener. It would be electric. It would feel like the old days. But I also think about the frustration if he's stuffed at the line of scrimmage over and over again. This could be incredible, or this could become a problem that hamstrings us for the next 2 seasons. I'm leaning toward being cautiously optimistic because John Schneider usually has a plan we don't see. He's a wizard with the cap even when things look bleak. If he thinks Kamara fits, I'm inclined to trust him, but my heart is still racing. This isn't just a transaction, it's a vibe shift. It's a signal to the rest of the NFC West that we aren't backing down. I really hope this works out, but I'm keeping my guard up for whatever happens next in this crazy league. The next few weeks are going to be some of the most critical in recent Seahawks history. The decision to pursue Alvin Kamara or stand pat with our young backfield will tell us everything we need to know about the direction of this franchise. The tension is real, and the implications are massive. This story is far from over, and honestly, it feels like something even bigger might be brewing behind the scenes at the VMAC. We are standing on the edge of a new era, and every move John Schneider makes right now is being scrutinized under a microscope. Will we see Kamara in the blue and green, or is this just another rumor that fades away into the offseason mist? The uncertainty is what makes being a 12 so intense, but it's also what keeps us coming back. I want to hear from you. Do you think Kamara is the missing piece to our Super Bowl puzzle, or is he a risk we simply can't afford to take? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I read every single one of them. We need to stick together as a community. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us hit that 1,000 sub goal. It means the world to me and the future of this channel. We are the loudest fans in the league for a reason. Go Hawks! Together, we can make our voices heard across the entire NFL landscape every single day.